All right, looks like we're live. Hi, Jeff Shelton, Wholesale Warranties. I just wanted to pop on the internet a little bit today and talk about some of the ins and outs of the extended warranty industry. Throughout the day, we get a lot of questions for the average RVer to understand these warranties. It can be a little bit tricky. So, our marketing department gets a lot of questions online. Obviously, our warranty specialists, we get a lot of questions throughout the day. So what I wanted to do is kind of give some answers to the most common questions when dealing with the RV warranty industry and even the industry in general. So like I said, my name is Jeff Shelton. I'm CEO of Wholesale Warranties. We specialize in extended warranties for automobiles, but more extensively the RV market. So I would like to think that I know a little bit about this industry. So Belinda, start us off with some of the questions that some of the viewers have had.
Awesome. Okay. What types of coverage options are available for an RV extended warranty?
Good question. Good question. When I started in this business, there was really only one type of warranty that covered most every mechanical working component. But as the years progressed, shortly after that, they came out with what's called an exclusionary policy. That's typically the most comprehensive package, because what they do is it's on the warranty company to tell you specifically what is not covered, and then everything else would be covered. So they have to tell you it's not covered, otherwise they have to cover it under the extended warranty. And then we have a slightly different version of that, which is kind of the opposite. It's called listed component, where they tell you what's covered. If it's not on that list, then it's covered. So those are the two most comprehensive type of packages. And then since then, especially for the motorhome market, there's been a high demand for a lot of RVers that just want to cover the catastrophic failures that typically have to do with like engine and powertrain and just chassis only coverage. So recently what we've developed is just that catastrophic failure coverage, so you can get those, big engine and transmission and braking and systems covered, and it steers away less from the smaller dollar items like microwaves and washing machines and things like that.
Awesome, cool. All right, the next question is, once I've purchased an extended warranty and I need to file a claim, what is the process? So that's kind of like the biggest misunderstanding that we see out in the industry is people think it's going to be this long drawn out process, and at times it can get complicated, but that's a very, very small minority of claims. Like for instance, if it's a catastrophic failure, they might send out an inspector, but the far majority of the time, well over 90% of the time, it's really the claims process is only one extra step, in that the repair facility calls the warranty company to get pre-authorization. So let me rewind this a little bit and kind of walk you through the process when you have a breakdown with an extended warranty. So you have a breakdown. Typically what happens, whether you have a warranty or not, you take it into the repair facility. Now, they're going to diagnose what the failure is and come to you with an estimate and say, hey, this is what we think it's going to cost. Do you want to go ahead with repairs? The only extra step is going to be, now if you say yes, but now check with my warranty company, now they're going to go to the warranty company and say, hey, this is what we think it's going to cost. And they'll give a pre-authorization before they begin the repairs. And then once they get that pre-authorization, they make the repair, and then they'll collect the money from the warranty company. And if there's any maintenance items or things that wouldn't be covered under the warranty or deductible, they'll typically collect the deductible from the customer. So it's that pre-authorization step. That's the only extra step in making a claim. The other point that I had for that is, I lost it. It's okay, maybe it'll come back.
No, it'll come back. The pre-authorization step, that's what I was doing. Now, people always ask, like, some of the biggest mistakes. It's typically that pre-authorization that you really want to focus on. Is just make sure that they call in the claim before they begin repairs. So, because sometimes it can be a little bit of a challenge. It will be a challenge that's where things get difficult if you don't make that pre-authorization step. So we always try to, as much as possible, communicate that, say before they begin the repairs, don't turn in receipts later after you've left the repair facility and try to make a claim. Then they don't have the opportunity to adjust. So that's the point.
Awesome. All right. Can you use an extended warranty for routine maintenance?
Yeah, that's one of the things that is not covered under the policy. And I think this is pretty obvious to most people, in that, like, oil changes, light bulbs, filters, wouldn't be covered under the warranty policy. And just to kind of be a little bit more general, it's those items that, to define this a little bit better, it's going to be those items that you would normally replace, even though they're still working. For instance, if your belt starts cracking and it's about to go, your tires, you're like, you don't have much tread in them, they're cracking, they're 12 years old, you're going to replace those on a fairly regular basis. However, on the flip side, you don't replace your refrigerator typically, unless you want a new refrigerator, with all the bells and whistles, but you don't replace a refrigerator on a regular basis. That's obviously covered under the warranty policy. So that hopefully helps distinguish between what a maintenance item and a repair would be. But for the most part, it's very much what you'd expect a maintenance item to be, and not covered under the policy.
Alrighty, this next question comes from Facebook, and it's, what are some of the most commonly overlooked items to consider when looking into an extended warranty?
Okay. Yeah, one thing to take a look at is couple things that I think are very important is roadside assistance. A lot of times people will say, hey, this comes with roadside assistance. Most warranty companies have a little bit of roadside assistance with them. However, typically it's not very good. You want to get a separate roadside assistance program. In all actuality, what we did is we've made that a separate policy, because sometimes you'll have many people already have a roadside assistance. And if you don't, we highly, highly encourage you to get a separate roadside assistance that will fully cover any towing expense for any reason. When you take a look at a warranty policy, one of the biggest disappointments that we sometimes see people have is that they'll run out of gas, they'll blow a tire, they'll get stuck somewhere, they'll need somebody to tow them, and they think that the warranty policy is going to cover that, but it only covers the towing because for a mechanical failure. And they're like, oh no, I didn't know that. And even if they did, they forgot. So that's why we strip that out of the warranty policy. So pay attention to what they actually have under any warranty policy for roadside assistance. And I think you'll find most of the time it's nice to have, but you're really going to need a separate coverage for that. So that's one of the things that I think is very, very important. Also look at a coverage, especially with the motorhomes, called consequential damage. This is a rider that we really made sure that we communicate with everybody, that I think is a pretty important item to get. And what this covers is it's when a non-covered part fails and then causes damage to a covered component. Like, let's say a belt breaks, and then a belt is a typical maintenance item. That's not going to cost you a lot of money in that repair of itself, but it's when it causes damage to some of the other component because of that failure. That's what you really want to make sure that you have coverage for. And that's one of the things to take a look at in your standard warranty policy, that we really think that might be it could be a very, very important coverage down the road.
Awesome, great answer. What are some of the most common problems that occur when it comes to making claims that you've seen? Okay,
yeah, good question. I think the majority of the things that we see is it has to do with the pre-authorization, making sure that you call in the claim before they actually make the repair. If everybody did that, most of the issues that we would deal with would go away. Also, I think too is one of the things that we think is, going back to the last point that I forgot to make, as far as making sure that you have coverage for, is seals and gaskets. Seals and gaskets is a very important coverage when it comes to mechanical components. However, there can be a little bit of confusion to what is a seal in a gasket, or what is weather stripping. So sometimes people are like, oh, I thought my seals and gaskets on my door, that some water started leaking in through the door, or the glue started coming undone.
Right.
Because we're using the term seals and gaskets, and it's excluded under weather stripping, there's a little bit of a difficulty in language there. So I always think that's worth noting is weather stripping keeps the weather out, which is an exclusion. Seals and gaskets are on the mechanical components, which definitely highly urge to make sure that you have that type of coverage for your policy.
Alrighty. Where can I take my vehicle for repairs?
With most programs you can take anywhere United States or Canada. We make sure that we work with a couple of different warranty companies that is primarily geared towards the RV traveler. So they have a lot of relationships throughout the country with all of the big repair facilities. Some warranty companies that you get through the dealership will only allow you to take it to that dealership or their network of dealerships. So definitely keep an eye on that. Typically what we see is with the dealership programs, if you can try to take it back to that dealership, because that's where you get the best service. Typically with the warranty companies, unfortunately, one of the issues that we that I see in this industry and why I actually created this business is some companies really started to tighten up a little bit on claims if you took it to any dealership outside the dealership that sold it to you, which I don't think is exactly fair, but from the standpoint of the incentive for the dealership to bring them back to the repair facility, there's a little bit of conflict of interest, in my opinion. And typically, if you take it to a different repair facility, the warranty company has a little bit, they obviously, want to make sure that they can save a little bit of money. Sometimes if they are going to mistreat certain repair facilities, those are the repair facilities that they can tighten up on claims. But, not all warranty companies are like that. But I think just definitely make sure that you take a look at where you can take your RV. Make sure you can take it to any repair facility. Some contracts will actually limit you to your dealership if you're within 100 or 200 miles as well. So they force you to go back to that dealership. So definitely pay attention to that as well.
Alrighty, we have a question from Facebook. Does the warranty cover roof damage?
Roof damage, yes. So damage would be an exclusion under the policy. We get a lot of roofing questions, and I think couple good questions is roofing and leaks. So what I always like to say is what is wrong. It depends on what the roofing issue is. As a straight answer, I always like to say roofing would not be covered. What we'll take a look at is what is wrong with whatever component it would be on the roof. For instance, like an air conditioner, if there's an air conditioner failure that caused a leak, yes, that definitely could be covered, but that would be an air conditioner thing. Typically what we see with roof damage, if it's like a falling tree and stuff like that, would be under your actual collision insurance. So the word there was damage. So I would assume that'd be physical damage that would not be covered under the policy or any policies available. And then you'd want to check with your insurance carrier on that. So these are for mechanical failures.
Cool. Alrighty. The next question is, do you offer payment plans? Yeah.
Actually, with most warranty programs, sometimes when you're getting it through the dealership, what they'll do is if you have a loan on your RV, they'll finance it through that actual loan, and you can pay it off for the length of the loan, which can be 10 to 15 years. So keep in mind, sometimes you might get a 4-year policy, but you're actually paying for it over 15 years. With us, if you get a 4-year policy, we have payment plans where you can pay it off for 18 or sometimes even 24 months, depending on the program. So you don't have to come out of pocket for the entire warranty out of pocket. You can break it up over many payments if you'd like.
Alrighty. Will an RV warranty pay for the labor as well?
Definitely take a look at your contract. Most policies do. All the policies that we offer pays for full retail parts and labor. Absolutely.
Cool. And then how likely is it that my RV will even break down?
I think I've got some stats on this. Now, this is kind of interesting. I think I had, so according to one of the warranty companies that we use, and this is probably the biggest warranty company we have, it's 3 out of every 10 RVs will need a major repair in only their 2nd year on the road. And then that goes to 8 to 10 in their 5th year. and then virtually all of them in their 8th year. So one thing about that too, which is a little bit interesting, is most people that we deal with, the average RVer has probably a fairly simple older RV with not too many working components. For those higher end RVs, you know, when you're dealing with anything that's above, you know, $50,000 in value typically, and especially the newer RVs when you have more working components, the more working components, the more the likelihood goes up. So I think that's a very general one, which is actually pretty astonishing how often you're going to need to make repairs. But the more complex that it is, that those statistics are probably even a little bit low. That was just, I think what they got that from was is their claims experience, and I think they've also did a lot of research on the industry as a whole. So pretty significantly high.
Alrighty, how does the deductible work? Am I charged each time?
Good question. So what this would be is with another thing to check into your policy, but most policies, and especially the ones that we offer, what it's going to do is the deductible should be per visit, not per item. So as of this recording, all the policies that we offer, it's per visit, not per item. Definitely something to take a look at, but most programs will be per visit. So what that means to you is, especially with the frequency of breakdowns, a lot of times what you'll have is you'll get, you know, some of the smaller items that it's not even like the cost is one thing, it's going to be expensive, but it's the time to take it in. A lot of people just save up repairs, get 3 or 4 things done at once, and just pay the deductible at one time. And that's the way to go, just out of a convenience standpoint, and then also financially, you're a little bit better incentive to do so.
Awesome. The next question is, I may sell my RV during the life of the contract. Is it still worth getting an extended warranty?
Yeah, good question. So, I mean, obviously getting an extended warranty is personal opinion, but one thing that we always like to point out too is that, you know, your policy is going to be transferable as well. So you can transfer it to the new owner. Most policies will be transferable. All the ones that we offer will be transferable to the new owner. And what I've noticed about that is you actually get a lot better value for your RV, especially if you're selling it yourself and you're able to transfer that warranty to the new owner. Typically the value in that is gonna, the value of your RV is gonna increase dramatically by you being able to offer a warranty with it. We actually work with a lot of consignment lots that will advertise their warranty, our warranty that we're going to put on the RV as a part of the cost of the RV. So in other words, the consignment lot will say, hey, this comes with a 4-year warranty, and then they'll sell it for whatever the price of the RV is they advertise, and then they'll buy the policy from us. Because the rationale behind that is they'll actually get more in the total cost of the RV selling it to the consumer, that they'd rather just include it in the total price, and then they sell it to the new owner, and then they get an inspection, put a warranty on it, and it just makes it look that much better. And then also, you know, if need be, if the new owner didn't want it back, you know, there will be a prorated refund available.
Awesome. Alrighty. Well, this is our last question, and it's, is Roadside Assistance covered by my warranty?
That's something to definitely take a look at. It's a per warranty basis. What we did is we've separated the two. So you can get roadside assistance with us. You can get a warranty with us. If you already have roadside assistance, you don't need to take our program that's not going to do anything for you. So we've separated both of the programs, so you can buy just the roadside assistance, you can buy just the warranty, or you can get the package together. Highly recommend getting some type of roadside assistance for your RV. You never know who to call. I've used it, and it was a lifesaver. Still it was not a good situation since it was so late at night, but I would have never known who to call otherwise, you know, even on the side of the road. And then also it was extremely expensive. So it was just kind of, it was a no-brainer to get something on your RV.
Cool. That was it.
So
yeah.
That was it. All right. That was easy. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, feel free to type it in below this section. I think it should be right down here or something like that. If you have any questions or want to get a quote on an extended warranty, feel free to reach us at 800-939-2806. Also, you can go to our website, wholesalewarranties.com, ask any questions, or if you'd like to get a quote, we'd love to help you out. Thanks a lot.